Hey everybody, welcome back to the video. This is day 5 of the NightScaper conference, and I'm actually going to be doing some voiceover for a lot of the images here. I virtually have no videos for a lot of the rest of the trip, unfortunately. Day 6, which is the last day, I actually do have quite a bit of video as for that one, but unfortunately for part 5 I really don't have anything. So I'm going to be doing a lot of voiceover in kind of how some of these images were made, because I do have one image that is a big mosaic image that is a lot of images put together into one, and I'm going to kind of break down and show you all of the images and kind of show you how it's pieced together, which is going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to try to keep this video short, so let's kind of get straight into the day.
Welcome to Zion National Park. I was invited by some friends to check out this really huge, amazingly gorgeous overlook. I will see if I can get some permission from my friend to share her photo in this video, and of course I'll link it. And her photography page is Shelby Diamondstar Photography, in case I do. She's an incredible photographer, and definitely check it out. Unfortunately, I was not able to go. I decided not to because of how far away Zion is from the hotel and just how far the hike was. It was 3 miles in total, plus waiting for the Milky Way. It just would have been crazy night and didn't think it was worth it. But here's some shots of Zion that I used for planning for the next day, which I ended up going back here. So yeah, these are just some cell phone stuff. So after exploring Zion a bit, I tried to come up with some compositions and creative things for the next day. So I ended up going back to Toadstools because clouds kept coming in, and I wanted to try to, get some shots. And I knew that there were some more hoodoos, or the little toadstool things, that I did not shoot there the other night when the workshop for Christine was there. So I decided to go back, and I'm glad I did. I ended up with these couple shots here. The Milky Way was just rising, and I wanted to try and get it low on the horizon. But the light pollution from Page, Arizona was over there, and where Big Water is in my hotel. So the first one is actually the foreground shot, and then the second one that you'll see here is going to be the sky shot. And ultimately I scrapped these images. I was not a fan of either of them. I think I had some issues with my tripod just not being screwed in, all the little knobs and everything being screwed in enough, because I had some issues with movement. So ultimately just scrapped it, and not a big deal. But what you'll see next here is I had to wait for the clouds to clear, because again, clouds came in and were just really annoying, and I'm really glad that I ended up with this shot here. It's a focus stacked foreground, and the sky is just some pretty stars with some beautiful air glow, and I really enjoy how this photo came out. So yeah, the rest is going to be about this big mosaic. So as you can see here, we're going to start with the sky shots. Here I'm going to be flipping through these photos. These are all the photos that were used for the sky frame of the photo. It's 3 rows. It's about 5 photos per row. I had 6 for the middle row and only 3 for the top row because I just needed this corner up here. And I ended up just cropping heavily on that little corner anyways. So it worked great. I had enough photos, and at the end here, you'll see that I have the full frame of everything merged together. The advantages of taking a mosaic is if you plan to print your images, it creates a very high resolution, large file, so you can safely print at very large sizes. It's the exact same concept for panoramas. If you can shoot a panorama on a tighter focal length that you could take on like a 14 millimeter in a single shot, you can print that image much bigger. So that's why I like mosaics and panoramas. And I love my 50 millimeter for night photography. So as you can see, this is a big image for the sky, and the concept is done exactly the same for the foreground shot. So I'm going to flip through these foreground shots here. So going through these foreground shots, you'll see that I start on the right side of the picture. For the foreground, it doesn't really matter where you start, but for the summer and spring Milky Way, you want to start at the top typically and work your way from right to left in the northern hemisphere at least. And work your way down the rows. So I have 5 images here with the foreground. You see I just pan about 50% over per picture, and 5 shots worked great. And then I merged them together here, as you see in this nice big picture. And then ultimately what I will then do is I will take the foreground shot here, and then I will take the sky shot that I showed you previously, and I will open those together in Photoshop as layers, and then I will blend the foreground, however technique or whatever technique I use to blend the foreground in with the sky, or the sky in with the foreground, whatever you do. And then that will create the final image that I am then going to edit. And this is that final shot. I really love the way that this was edited and put together. The strong air glow of Utah is just incredible. There's the bright green little waves that you can see throughout it. You even got some nice detail in some of the hydrogen alpha nebulas that are in the core region, thanks to the long exposures. It just really came together really well. Picture is cropped in to make it a taller rather than more square image. But other than that, really enjoy how this edit came out. After this photo, I called it a night, and I met this lovely couple and a family that was there for the conference. We ended up hiking down, and there was this absolutely badass grandma that was there. She was like 70 something years old, and she was doing the hike in and climbing all these rocks, and she was awesome. Helped them out, get back to the car, and I ended up stopping close to the car, and I found these really big plants. I don't know what these plants are. They're something, probably a desert plant, and I took some really cute and unique shots with some really nice star bokeh. This is not something that I typically do, but I've seen and I absolutely adore, and I would love to get into maybe some night portraits with people and get some really unique kind of astro portraits. I think that would be something really cool to get into. And I decided that I wanted to do a northern Milky Way shot as well. And I ended up photoshopping that and blending it in to this photo too. And you can see just the absolutely amazing amount of air glow that there is to the north. I couldn't believe when I just saw the back of the raw photo just how much color there was. And I really tried to bring that out with the edit as well. And I absolutely love how this shot came out. Probably one of my favorite shots from the trip itself. So funny enough, once I decided to officially pack everything up after taking these last few shots, I messaged my buddy Nathan, who invited me out to that overlook. So the official name of that overlook is the Zion Observation Overlook. I was messaging him, asking him how the night went, and it was about 4:30 in the morning, I think, and he was like, we just got back to the hotel. And I was laughing because I was setting up for this shot here. I decided to get out my zoom lens. And I think I put it to about 250 or 300 millimeters. It's a really bad lens. It's a kit 75 to 300. It's super soft. It's not sharp. There's actually a scratch on it, but shooting wide open, you can't tell. So I ended up setting it up on my little star tracker. The move shoot move is not meant for anything deep space. But I 30 seconds with just aligning with my laser. So I ended up just going to sleep for like 2 hours or something in the car while my star tracker just kind of took some shots until the battery died. I didn't bother replacing the battery because I knew there was only about 30 minutes until blue hour started to show up, or I guess twilight started to show up. So didn't really bother too much with the amount of exposure time. But yeah, here is that shot. I hope you guys like it. This is the Galaxy Andromeda. It is our closest neighbor. And I went back to the hotel, which was about 15 minutes, and got a couple more hours of sleep, and the rest will be continued in day 6, which is the second to last day of the conference. And man, let me tell you the challenges that I went through on this day. This day was just super annoying, to be honest, when it came to going out and doing night photography. The clouds were absolutely awful, and I felt like a cloud magnet. But in the end, it paid off. Thank the Lord. So thank you again so much for watching. You can follow me on social media at Facebook, JM Naturescapes, and Instagram, JM Naturescapes as well. My website is jmnaturescapes.com. And if you would like, please comment something about the video, like, and subscribe, and that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks again. Tune in until next time.